As the question says, a track consists of two circular paths A, B, C and C, D, E. That is this one and this one. Of equal radius 100 meters. That is, they have given these as 100 meters and joined smoothly as shown in figure. Each part subtends a right angle at its center. That is, these are the right angles actually. A cycle weighing 100 kg together with the rider travels at a constant speed of 18 kilometers per hour. So, find the normal contact force by the road on the cycle when it's at B and D. B, find the force of friction exerted by the track on the tires when the cycle is at B, C and D. Find the normal force between the road and the cycle just before and just after the cycle crosses the C. And the D part, what should be the minimum friction coefficient between the road and the tire, which will ensure that the cyclist can move with the constant speed. Let us first understand this problem. What is the difference when the cyclist is being in the path ABC and CDE? The only difference being that the mg will act in the downward direction only whether the cyclist be at B or at D. But in this part, since the center for this curved path is in downward direction and the center for this curved part is in upward direction, the centripetal force actually changes. So ultimately the normal reaction is different when the cyclist is in part ABC and when it's in the part CDE. That is, an equation changes by a sign of plus or minus when a cyclist goes from one part to the other part. So let us take that into account more deeply, solving the problem and starting with the part A, in which we need to find the normal contact force by the road on the cycle when it is at B and D. The same thing as I told you, forming the equation, I can say that at B, I have mg equals to, we will be having a normal reaction plus mv square by r, because this will be the centripetal force, which will be equal to the total force towards the center, which is mg, minus the total force in the opposite direction, that is normal, bringing that to the right hand side, which becomes plus n. Putting the values over here, we get n equals to 100 into 10 minus 100 into 25 over 100, giving us a value of 975 newtons. In the same part, let us discuss the problem at point D. Now we have mv square by r, that is the total centripetal force, equals to normal reaction minus mg. Getting the point? Normal reaction is in the upward direction, that is towards the center, while mg is in downwards direction, so minus mg. Putting the values over here, we get normal reaction equals to 1000 plus 25 equals to 1025 Newton. Moving ahead with the second part of this question, in which we need to find the force of friction exerted by the track on the tires when the cycle is at B, C and D. Now B is the highest point in ABC, so there is no tendency of the cyclist to slide over here. Also, this is the deepest point in CDE, so there is no tendency of the cyclist to move either over here also. So we can say that the frictional force at B is equals to frictional force at D, which is equals to 0. But at C we are having the mg in downward direction. This is vertical, this is 90, so this is actually 45 degrees. And the cyclist will be moving along this tangential path. So we can say that a frictional force will be actually balancing a part of mg, which will be mg sine theta. Putting the values in this, we get the frictional force F equals to 1000 over root 2, that is 707 newtons. Now, proceeding with the C part of this question, that is, find the normal force between the rod and the cycle just before and just after the cycle crosses the C. Now, C is the point which is joining the ABC and the CDE portions of the path. So this is a point of transition. So we have to work for a little distance before this and a little distance after this. That is one equation for the ABC path and the other for CDE path. Now for before C, that is before C, I can say that mv square by r equals to mg cos theta minus normal reaction, that is total force towards the center minus total outward force, giving us normal reaction equals to 707 minus 25, that is 682 newtons. For the same part, if we discuss the problem immediately after C, we can say that mv square by r will be normal reaction minus mg cos theta. Putting the values over here, we get the normal reaction equals to 25 plus 707, giving us 732 newtons. Now, moving ahead with the last part of this question, that is the D part, which is what should be the minimum friction coefficient between the rod and the tire, which will ensure that it can move with a constant speed. Now, while moving from A, B, C, D and E, we can notice that C is the point of minimum normal reaction. So if the friction is able to balance this normal reaction, then obviously the other normal reactions will be balanced very easily, because the mg component will come to the rescue over there. Now here we have the minimum normal reaction. So we can write it as the frictional force, which is the mu n, is actually equals to mg sine theta. This is actually along this tangential direction. Getting my point? So mu into normal, which is 682, equals to mg sine theta, which is 707. So mu equals to 1.037. Now friends, you might note that I have taken the normal reaction in 682 when the block is just before C, that is 682 over here. It is because the normal reaction here will be having mg cos theta minus mv square by r, while here it will be having mg cos theta plus mv square by r. So at C only, the normal reaction lying in the part ABC will be less than CDE. So this will be the least normal reaction in whole of the path. So if somehow we balance this normal reaction with the frictional force, then we will be able to balance every force in the path ABCDE.